$2 versus 30. Same 1,000 views, same hour of work, but on one topic YouTube pays you $2 and on another it pays you 30 or more. Same effort, 15 times the money. And here's the piece that should sting a little. Most people choose which side of that they're on in about 10 seconds of daydreaming and never touch it again. That 10-second choice sets your ceiling for years, so today we're going to make it on purpose. But I'll warn you now. The topic that actually wins for a brand new channel is almost never the one sitting at the top of any highest paying list. There's a reason, and it's the whole episode.
Kai here, and I'll be the one keeping us honest on the money. Quick reality check before anyone falls in love with a big number. The $30 is what advertisers bid, not what lands in your account. After YouTube's cut and all the views that never see an ad, you pocket closer to half. So chase the pay, sure. Just chase the real pay.
Michael jumping in, and the pay swings that hard for one blunt reason. Advertisers pay for who's watching. A video about credit cards or investing reaches someone about to open an account, and the banks behind this building will pay a fortune to sit in front of them. A meme reaches a bored teenager with no wallet yet. Same view, completely different buyer.
I'm Liam, and I'm the one who's going to keep pumping the brakes. Because here's the trap in that logic. Everybody hears finance pays the most and sprints straight at it. Finance is also the most crowded corner on the whole platform, wall to wall with real experts and real budgets. A brand new channel walks in and gets buried where nobody scrolls. A $30 rate on 0 views is still $0.
And that's really the question everyone lands on before they start. People type it into the search bar every single day. What is the single best faceless niche to start in 2026? And the real answer is, that's the wrong question. The best niche is the one that clears all 4 filters for you, not the one topping somebody's list.
That's the tension the whole episode lives on. Pay pulls you toward the crowded niches, and the crowd shoves you right back out. Now, we already settled whether niche matters last time, so today isn't that argument. Today is the actual system for finding the one lane you can win. And we built a free place to run it. Grow.professorerica.com has a niche and earnings calculator, so you can sanity check any pay claim you see, plus a tool directory to get you moving. Coming up, the 4-part filter, how to niche down until the room clears, and the demand check that saves you from a dead end. So let's replace that 10-second guess with something you can actually run. The mistake nearly everyone makes is picking a niche on one number, the pay. Pay is just one of 4 filters, and the other 3 are the ones that decide whether you ever earn a cent.
Here's the whole test on one board. Score any niche you're weighing on 4 plain yes or no questions. Is the pay good? Can a new channel actually rank? Is there real demand? And can you sustain it? Filter 1 is the obvious one, the pay, and it's the bait. Watch 3 very different niches go through all 4.
Filter 2 is the one that quietly kills beginners. Can a brand new channel rank here, or is it wall-to-wall giants? Look at the finance row. The pay is a yes, but the competition is a no. So for a new channel, that green pay number is a mirage. You'd be the 10,000th voice in a room full of experts with real budgets.
Filter 3, demand. Does anyone actually search for this? You can find a niche with great pay and no competition, and it turns out the room is empty because nobody wants it. A high rate on a topic nobody watches is just a slower way to earn nothing.
Filter 4, and it's the one people lie to themselves about. Can you make 100 videos on this without wanting to quit? A niche you burn out on in month 2 scores a hard no here, no matter how well it pays. Passion isn't fluff, it's fuel for the year nobody's watching yet.
Now watch the bottom row, taxes for gig workers. The pay is strong, the competition is thin. Real people search it every spring, and you could talk about it for years. It doesn't top any single column. It's just the only row that answers yes to all 4.
And that's the whole shift right there. The winner isn't the highest number in any one column. It's the niche that clears all 4 filters at once. Sounds boring next to finance. The boring and winnable is the one that actually pays you.
So pay is the bait, and the other 3 are the hook. Liam just named the whole shift right there. The winner clears all 4 filters, not one. And the filter that traps the most people is competition, because everyone underestimates just how crowded the rich niches really are. So let's fix that one next with the single move that clears the room. Quick, honest ask while we are here. If this has been worth your time so far, hit like, then subscribe and ring the bell. I know everyone asks, but this one is free, and it is how a small channel like this actually grows.
The single most useful move in this whole game is niching down, and almost nobody does it enough. A $10 niche you can genuinely win beats a $40 niche you'll never rank in, every single time.
You niche down 2 ways, by the audience or by the angle, and most people stop one level too early. Let me show you. Start with personal finance. Enormous and completely unwinnable for a new channel. Narrow it to finance for beginners, still crowded. Now pick a specific audience. Money tips for gig workers. Then one sharp question they actually have. Retirement accounts for rideshare drivers. Each step, the giants drop away.
And it works in any rich niche, not just finance. Take business software. Instead of reviewing every tool on earth against 1,000 competitors, you own one platform, the kind a company in a building like this pays real money to reach. One tool, one audience, a lane you can plant a flag in and defend.
So here's the question I'd actually ask, and I think everyone watching has it too. Once I've niched down, how do I even know the competition is still not too tough for a channel my size?
Great question, Liam, and the check is free. Search your narrow topic and look hard at who's ranking. If every result is a giant channel with 1 million subscribers, back up and niche down again. If you see small, newer channels pulling real views, that's your green light. You're not hunting for zero competition. You're hunting for beatable competition.
Or it means the topic's dying and they're the only ones left.
Fair, and that's exactly why demand is the very next filter. A thin room is only good if people are still walking in. But when you find that combination, thin competition and steady demand, that's the fastest path there is to becoming the authority in a lane. You're not the 10,000th finance channel. You're the one for your people.
So niche down until the room clears, then make sure anyone's still in it. Which is the filter that quietly ends more channels than competition ever does. Demand. Let's make sure your perfect little lane isn't a ghost town.
You can niche down so far that you win a race nobody entered. The last filter catches that, demand. A perfect, uncrowded, high-paying niche that nobody actually searches for pays you exactly nothing.
So confirm real demand before you fall in love with anything, then weigh it against your odds. Put your candidate on 2 axes. Real demand across the bottom, how easily you can win up the side. Every niche lands somewhere on this map.
Top left is the trap nobody warned you about. You niche down so hard, say tax tips for alpaca farmers, that you've got no competition and no audience either. Easy to win, nothing to win. That corner feels clever and pays absolutely nothing.
Now the corner you actually want. Real demand and beatable. Take legal. Oja Rice explainers, immigration steps, tenant questions. People search these constantly. The pay is high, and you don't need a law degree to explain public rules clearly and carefully. Steady demand, and a lane a patient newcomer can win.
And one real gut check before you commit, because this is where demand meets real life. Could you show up and make this video 100 times? A lane you can't stand is a lane you'll quit, and the channel dies at video 12, right when the money is finally starting to move.
And favor the evergreen over the fad while you're at it. A topic people will still search in 3 years keeps paying you while you sleep. A niche built on this month's trend dies with the trend, and you're back to picking all over again.
So there's your filter, all 4 of it. Good pay, competition you can beat, demand that's really there, and a topic you can keep making. Michael's evergreen point is the multiplier on all of it. Run any niche through the whole thing and the winner tends to pick itself. Which leaves one last fight worth having, and the team is genuinely split on it. How narrow should you actually go? So you've got the 4 filters. But they leave one real fork, and my 2 co-hosts land on opposite sides of it. How narrow do you actually go? Kay thinks most people niche down too far and box themselves in. Liam thinks going narrow is the only way a small channel ever gets seen. No assigned sides, this is what they each actually believe. Kai, make your case.
People here niche down and strangle their own channel. If you pick a lane so tiny you run out of ideas in a month, you've built a dead end, not a business. Go narrow enough to be known for something, but leave yourself road. Personal finance for young families gives you 100 videos and room to grow. Roth accounts for rideshare drivers gives you maybe 6, and then what?
And that is exactly how new channels stay invisible. YouTube has to learn who to show you to. If you're a little bit about everything in money, the system never figures out your audience, and you get shown to nobody. Going painfully narrow at the start is what teaches the algorithm to hand you a room. You can always widen later. You cannot unblur a channel that never had a focus.
Hang on, Kai. Answer that head on. If a broad channel is invisible to the algorithm, what good are your 100 ideas if nobody ever sees the first one?
It's a fair hit. So the answer isn't broad, it's a narrow lane with room underneath it. Pick one clear audience, young families and money, then go deep on every subtopic they care about. Focused enough for the algorithm to place you, but not so thin you're out of road by video 10. You narrow the audience, not the topic list.
So you're niching down. You just said it in a nicer suit.
By the audience, yes. Not by the topic. And that distinction is the whole ballgame. It's where most people get it wrong. They narrow the topics until the well runs dry, instead of narrowing the person they're talking to.
All right, that I'll take. Narrow the who, keep the what deep. I still say air tighter than feels comfortable when you're brand new because comfortable usually means invisible, but we're honestly close.
You're both circling the same point from opposite sides, so let me land it. So here's what I'd actually do, and it lines up with how the platform's own data says channels grow. The smart play is to narrow your audience hard, but keep your topics deep. If you're brand new with no audience, air tighter than feels natural, because that's how the algorithm learns who to hand you to. Then, once you own that small room, widen out from a position of authority, not from a standing start. Go too broad and you're invisible. Go too narrow and you starve. The recommendation is one specific person you serve completely on a subject deep enough to feed years of video. That's who each path fits. The tight start for the unknown beginner, the wider lane once you've earned the reach. So run all 4 filters, then pick the narrowest lane that still has room to grow. Do that and you've turned a 10-second guess into a real decision, the one that actually pays. Next time, we cross the line that switches the money on. The exact gate to get monetized. Quick recap, your niche is a 4-filter decision, not a pay contest. Good pay, competition you can beat, real demand, and a topic you can sustain. The winner clears all 4, and it's usually a narrow lane you niche down into, not the richest topic on the chart.
The number to hold on to. The highest rate you can actually rank in beats the highest rate on the chart, every time. A $40 niche you can't crack pays you 0. A $10 niche you own pays your rent.
Do this before you close this tab. Run the niche you already had in mind through all 4 filters, really. 5 minutes now saves 6 wasted months. And send this to the friend who's been stuck picking a niche for a year.
Where this can bite you. Do not niche down into an empty room. Uncrowded and unwanted is still 0. Check that real people are searching before you fall in love with a clever corner.
Next episode in the series, we cross the line that turns the money on. The exact subscriber and watch hour gate to get monetized and how to actually get approved.
If this saved you from the wrong niche, hit like and subscribe because we're building this whole money map one video at a time. And that free niche and earnings calculator is waiting at grow.professorerica.com.
Here's the one we're handing to you, so drop it in the comments. What niche are you eyeing, and which of the 4 filters worries you most? The competition, or whether you can keep it up?
That is everything you need on this one. Thank you so much for watching. This is Professor Erica.